Somewhere in America, Robert is packing up his desk. 40 years, one company, thousands of early mornings, and countless late nights. He opens one final envelope before retirement. He stares at the number. Silence. It isn't enough. Not even close. For a moment, he wonders where 40 years went. How did he work this hard and still not feel financially free? Was it inflation? Bad luck? The stock market? No. It was something much smaller. A decision he made on his very first day at work. A decision almost every young employee makes without realizing its consequences, because no one explained the rules. Today, I'm going to explain those rules. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why 2 retirement accounts can quietly create a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. Not because they earn different returns, but because they play by different tax rules. But before we talk about retirement accounts, let's go back to where almost every retirement story begins, your very first day at work. Because that's where Ethan's story starts, and maybe yours does too.
23-year-old Ethan walks into his first job. Everything feels new. His first salary, his first employee badge, his first benefits meeting. HR hands him a stack of forms: health insurance, emergency contacts, retirement plan. He signs almost everything without reading. Then he reaches one page, a 401k. Contribution percentage, 0%, 1%, 3%, 5%. He laughs. I'm barely paying rent. I'll start next year. HR smiles politely. They've heard that answer hundreds of times. What Ethan doesn't know is that the older Ethan is sitting right beside him, watching, wanting to scream, "Don't do it." Ethan's first question is the same one most people ask. What even is a Roth IRA? Here's the simplest answer. Neither a Roth IRA nor a 401k is an investment. Think of them as 2 different backpacks. One usually comes from your employer. The other is one you open on your own. Different backpacks, different rules, but inside either one, you can carry exactly the same investments: index funds, ETFs, mutual funds. The backpack doesn't change the investment. It changes how taxes treat everything inside. And that tiny difference can become enormous over 40 years. So instead of talking about complicated tax laws, let's follow Ethan's very first paycheck, because that's where these 2 accounts start behaving differently. Imagine Ethan earns his first paycheck, $5,000. He feels rich. Then reality happens. Taxes, rent, groceries, gas, subscriptions. Suddenly, that paycheck feels much smaller. Now Ethan has 2 choices. With a Roth IRA, he pays taxes today, then invests. With a traditional 401k, he invests first and pays taxes years from now. Neither choice is automatically better. They're simply solving different problems. The real question isn't which account is better. It's when do you want to pay taxes? One answer helps present Ethan. The other may help the older Ethan. Now imagine 2 retirement accounts that have both grown to $1 million. Same investments, same returns. The only difference is how taxes apply when the money comes out. With a Roth IRA, qualified withdrawals are tax-free. With a traditional 401k, withdrawals are generally taxed as ordinary income. That's why 2 accounts with the same balance can leave you with very different amounts of spendable money. But before Ethan decides where to invest, there's something even more important, because some employers are already offering to invest alongside him. A week passes. Ethan barely thinks about retirement again until his manager asks a simple question. "Did you sign up for the company match?" Ethan looks confused. Company match? His manager smiles. "Every month you save for retirement, we'll save alongside you." Imagine your employer said, "For every dollar you invest, we'll invest some too." Not because they like you, not because you're lucky, because it's already part of your compensation package. It's one of the few moments in life where doing one small thing can immediately increase the amount being invested toward your future. Exactly how much depends on your employer's retirement plan. Some companies match dollar for dollar, some match 50 cents on the dollar. Some don't offer a match at all, and that's okay. The rest of this video still applies. But if your employer does, it's worth understanding exactly how it works. Because unlike the stock market, this benefit doesn't depend on whether stocks go up tomorrow. It's part of your workplace benefits. And surprisingly, millions of employees never claim the full amount available to them. Not because they don't want it, because they never realized it was available.
This is why almost every retirement conversation starts here. Before worrying about picking the perfect investment, make sure you understand whether your employer is offering additional money toward your retirement. It's one of the simplest ways to accelerate long-term wealth building. So, does that mean Ethan should put every dollar into his 401k? Getting the company match is usually the first step, but after that, every extra dollar has to make a choice. Should it go into a Roth IRA or stay inside the 401k? That's where things become a little more interesting. Here's something that frustrated me when I first started learning about investing. Almost every video tries to crown a winner. Choose the Roth IRA. No, choose the 401k. But personal finance doesn't work that way. The better question isn't which account is better, it's better for who. Let's compare two people. Ethan, age 24, salary $48,000. He's early in his career. Every raise over the next 20 years could move him into higher tax brackets. For someone like Ethan, paying taxes today while his income is relatively modest may make a lot of sense. Because if his income grows substantially over time, future qualified withdrawals from that tax-free account could become especially valuable. Let's imagine, purely as a hypothetical illustration, that Ethan invests $500 every month for 40 years, assuming an average annual return of 10%. By retirement, he could have well over $3 million invested. The investment did the hard work, but depending on which account he used, taxes could dramatically change how much of that money is actually his to spend. That's why understanding the rules today can matter just as much as choosing the right investments. Now imagine Ethan 20 years later. He's earning $150,000 a year. His priorities have changed. Reducing taxable income today becomes much more valuable than it was when he earned $48,000. That's why many higher earners often increase their traditional 401k contributions. Not because the Roth IRA suddenly became bad, but because their financial situation changed. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming the decision they make at 25 has to stay the same forever. It doesn't. Good financial planning evolves as your life evolves. Retirement accounts aren't competing with each other. They're teammates. So if Ethan wants to use both, where should he start? Let's build the roadmap. If you asked 10 financial planners, you'd probably hear 10 slightly different strategies. But many would agree on a framework that looks something like this. First, get the full employer match. Contribute enough to your 401k to capture every dollar your company is willing to add. If it's on the table, this is one of the highest guaranteed returns most investors will ever have access to. Not claiming it means leaving part of your compensation behind. Next, build your Roth IRA. Once the match is covered, direct your next dollars into a Roth IRA. For 2026, the annual contribution limit is up to $7,500 for eligible individuals. It's a smaller account, but it gives you more investment choices and qualified tax-free withdrawals later. Finally, go back and increase your 401k. If there's still money left to invest after building your Roth IRA, return to the 401k and keep contributing. There's no extra match to capture at this stage, but the tax-deferred growth still adds up. Match, Roth IRA, then back to your 401k. 3 steps in that order. It isn't the only strategy. The right approach depends on your income, your tax situation, and your goals. But for many young investors, it's a practical framework to start with. And yes, many people eventually use both. They're not competing accounts. They're simply different tools that can work together. But here's the surprising part. Even the perfect roadmap can't help someone who never starts. And that's exactly what happened to Ethan.
Remember Ethan, the 23-year-old who looked at his retirement paperwork and quietly said, "I'll do it next year." At the time, it felt harmless. After all, what difference could 1 year really make? Then 1 year became 2. 2 became 5. 5 became 10. And before Ethan realized it, he was 32, still telling himself, "I'll start soon." The strange thing about time is that you rarely notice it while it's passing, but your investments do, every single day. Let's compare two futures, not two different people, the same Ethan, the same career, the same salary, the same investments. The only difference is when he started. Ethan A. started investing at age 23. He invests $500 every month, receives employer matching whenever it's available, stays consistent, and leaves the money alone. Ethan B. starts at age 33. Everything else is identical. The same discipline, the same monthly investment, the same retirement age. Now here's the part that surprises almost everyone. Ethan A. didn't contribute twice as much money. He simply gave his investments 10 extra years. Those 10 years became decades of additional compound growth. And compound growth doesn't grow in straight lines. It grows like a snowball rolling downhill, slowly at first, then faster, then seemingly all at once. By retirement, the difference between these two paths can easily reach hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes even more. Not because Ethan A. was smarter, but because time quietly did the heavy lifting. Remember the backpacks? The investments grow the same either way. The difference is how taxes affect what you get to keep, and it gets even more extreme than that. Someone investing $500 a month starting in their early 20s can end up with more wealth than someone investing $1,000 a month beginning 10 years later. Not because they invested better, not because they earned more, because compound growth had another decade to work. Money begins earning money. Then those earnings begin earning money. And eventually, the growth starts growing faster than your own monthly contributions. That's the moment compound growth really begins to feel magical, even though it's really just mathematics, plus patience. The greatest advantage young investors have isn't money, it's time. And unfortunately, time is the only investment you can never buy back. That's exactly why we started this story with Robert. He wasn't short on hard work, he was short on time. To understand it, let's go back to where this story began. Robert, 40 years of work, thousands of paychecks, one retirement statement. If he could travel back in time, he probably wouldn't tell his younger self which stock to buy, or which ETF would outperform, or how to predict the next market crash. He'd probably say something much simpler. Start. Understand the rules. Don't wait until life finally feels convenient, because life almost never does. That single decision doesn't change his life overnight. Nothing dramatic happens tomorrow or next month or even next year. But something invisible begins. A habit, a system, a future that's quietly improving every month without Robert needing to think about it. That's how wealth is usually built. Not in one spectacular moment, but through hundreds of ordinary ones. People spend years searching for the perfect investment. Very few spend enough time simply becoming consistent. Consistency beats intensity far more often than people realize. Future you doesn't need you to predict the market. Future you doesn't even need you to invest perfectly. Future you just needs present you to begin. This video is for educational purposes only and isn't personalized financial advice. Please talk with a licensed financial professional about your own situation. If you learned something valuable from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps support the channel and lets me keep creating videos that make investing simpler for everyone. Thanks for watching, and remember, future you is counting on the decisions you make today. I'll see you in the next video.